Hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are and when you're watching this. All right, I think I got this figured out so that I can see the comments. Yes. Hey, go me on technology. It's not like I had a career in it for 24 years. Welcome to the Road to Unstoppable, day 2. Let me know if you're here with me. I came on a little bit early again. And we will start at probably 2 past the hour. Give everybody a chance for Facebook to notify you that I'm live. Sometimes doing this in a group this way, some things can be missed, but it also makes it easier for me to streamline it this way. So George is joining us, at least for right now. My little fluffernutter. Squishy's off to the side. Hi, Andrea. Good morning to you, right? It's Australia, correct? Or no, I think I may be getting you mixed up with someone else. Where are you coming in from, Andrea or Andrea? Hope everybody is doing well today. It has been a whirlwind of a day. Okay. Pacific Northwest. Okay, cool. Got you mixed up with someone else. Thank you. So yeah, about 3 p.m. then. Cool. Welcome. Oh, now I remember. Yes. Oregon, right? Cool. Wait a couple more minutes. I'm excited about this one tonight. This can be pretty funny. And I want to just give it also a quick little synopsis from last night, kind of what we talked about as far as the importance of calming the nervous system, how you know your nervous system is overactive. Hi, Figen. So glad you could join us again. I'm going to wait a couple more minutes. We're going to be using this one tonight. I love this book. I use it like a manual, like I said. Yeah, I'm actually going to pick on myself. Yeah, that resonates. Oh, okay. Hi, Susan. So glad you could join us again. And give it about 1 more minute before we dive in. Yeah, Andrea, if you missed last night's, it is actually pinned as a featured post in here. And then also on my YouTube channel, there is day 1 in here. There's some kind of echo. Okay, thanks, Vegan. Let me see if I can fix that. Is anybody else hearing an echo too? Let me see here. Hi, Pam or Pamela. Let me see. Is anyone other than Figen hearing an echo? That sounds clear here, but I'll try to fix it if it's not coming through. Not sure if it's on your side or mine, but trying to listen to an echo can be a lot less than fun. So if it's me, I will figure it out. You're hearing a slight echo. Okay. Bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I can put my technical skills. Ooh, they're rusty. Let me move this over here. Let me see. Let me try this actually. Does that make a difference? Okay. Nope, it didn't make a difference. Shoot. Okay. I am not sure. How about now? Any difference? Talk. Am I still echoing? Still no difference, or are those from the last attempt? Hi, Lisa. Yeah, let me know if I'm still echoing, guys. I'm not sure. I switched the microphone. I'm not echoing anymore, or did I not fix it? I'm not sure what the no is. Begin. I switched my microphone, so I'm hoping that that changed it, but if not, sounds like you're in an empty room. Oh, okay. Give me a second. Yeah, I had blankets around yesterday. 1 second. My super high-tech podcast setup, and get the echo gone. Blankies. Okay. Give me 1 minute. Thank you. That helps. All right. I am super high tech. I know. Aren't you guys jealous? All right. Hopefully, oh, you know what? Let's do this. This should actually help a lot. Still echoing. That's awesome. All right. I'm going to try. And this just may be as good as it gets. Or I may hop off and try to rejoin again, actually, because I don't want to leave this on. Okay. I've got a blanket around the microphone now. Oh, George is always super chill. Hi, buddy. Your fans are watching you. Okay. Do I still have an echo, or is it better now? I still have an echo? Crap. Okay. All right. Andrea says better. Begin says not. All right. What else? Hey, buddy, here. I try to pull this around over here. All right. I got a couple more blankets. Try to put this back here. Actually, that's not going to work. Bear with me. All right. Maybe this is going to help. Okay. Can you at least understand me? Even if it's echoing. Can you at least understand me, or is it really bad? Okay, Susan's saying it doesn't bother her. How about you, Figen? Is it tolerable? Okay, all right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your patience. I will make sure I've got blankets all over the place next time. Cool. Thank you, Lorraine. Hello. Thank you for joining us. All right. Awesome. Hello, everybody. So I'm going to start this again. Thank you so much for your patience with my super high-tech blankie system here. So just recapping last night, we were talking about the importance of calming the nervous system, what's happening under the covers, and some of the ways that you know if you have an overactive nervous system. So let me just go back to that super quick in here. And there is one thing, I actually mentioned it indirectly, but didn't do a good job of calling it out directly. There's another way that you know you have an overactive nervous system. Let me find you guys again. Now I lost it. Man, this is just a technical awesomeness tonight. Okay, hang on. Let me pull you guys over here. All right, now I can see that. Okay. All right, I'm actually going to keep this. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. Let me go into Zoom. Thanks, Lisa. You know, and whenever I see other people who are doing something like this and they have technical difficulties, I'm always like, it's okay when they happen to you. So thank you for that allowance, Lisa. All right. So let's see. This is doing a great job. There we go. Okay. So just a super recap, small recap. The one that I forgot on here are allergies, excess allergies. I don't know if you guys remember last night I was saying that, gosh, it was around the end of 2015, 2016, and I was breaking out in hives every single day on my wrists, on my hands. Part of it was an MSG allergy, again, allergies, but just every single day for like 6 to 8 months. And a friend of mine who's no longer with us was pointing out that my system was screaming for help, and he was absolutely right. So if you do have a lot of allergies, that is another potential sign that your nervous system is on fire and it's in a state of perpetual fight or flight. Yeah, I had allergies as a kid, Susan. I had asthma as a kid. I actually had asthma up until last year. I haven't used my inhaler at all this year. I did some immunity boosting with a couple of supplements, changed my diets, and the asthma went away. And for the first time in the history of me, I got through allergy season this year using elderberry and turkey tail tincture. I didn't need any antihistamines at all to get through allergy season. That is how much I've been able to calm down my nervous system, even if I'm still working on it. But that is another way to know that your nervous system is a little bit overactive. The anxiety, insomnia, the inability to sit still, constantly needing to be on your phone, the racing thoughts, constantly worrying, excess stress, chronic pain. These are all signs. And underneath the surface, it is getting in the way of healing. It's keeping you inflamed. It's throwing off the gut microbiome. It's creating more mental anguish, and it is taking a toll on the physical body. So that is why it is so important to start to calm down the nervous system. So yes, I would include asthma kind of as a maybe. Asthma can also be related to a lot of grief. So one of my coaches, one of my mentors, actually, she had a long history of asthma. And since she was able to remember and recall a very severe trauma that happened to her before the age of 2, she had to use her inhaler. And as she continued to heal, and she did layers and layers over years, her back pain went away. Her eyesight improved. The asthma was still the lingering thing. She has not used her inhaler since she uncovered and healed that trauma. And as we know, the trauma is going to put the nervous system on fire and put it into a state of perpetual fight or flight. So I would say tentatively, yes. I know allergies, there is more of a direct correlation. Asthma could be but asthma can also be connected to other things. Like, okay, let's take a look. This is actually a great segue into tonight. So let me see. What does it say about if we have asthma in here specifically? Okay. Yes. So according to Louise Hay, we're actually going to start to go into this. I love her stuff. Joe Dispenza is another good one who has made some of these correlations with emotions and pain too. According to Louise Hay, asthma is smothered love, inability to breathe for oneself, feeling stifled, suppressed crying. So suppressing emotions, suppressing things that are making you sad, that connection to grief. And saying asthma in babies and children can be fear of life, not wanting to be here. I definitely had a lot of fear as a child because that's when bad things were really happening to me. I was afraid of everything as a kid, and I had really bad asthma. And mine, as I got older, it just became exercise and allergy induced. So that was the connection. I was never one that just randomly had asthma attacks unless I was moving. So my experience of asthma may be very different than yours, but that doesn't mean that you can't impact the severity of your asthma by looking at what may be inside that. So Lisa, you don't have to share if that resonates. Hopefully that helps. A lot of us have suppressed a lot of our tears, a lot of our sadness, a lot of our crying that can then come out in the form of the lungs. So there are a few things out there that actually show proof between the emotions and pain. So I can't remember if I told you guys, but I actually met the medical examiner who cleaned up Sandy Hook. I'm sure everybody remembers that, even though it was over a decade ago now. That was a horrible day in American history. And so this last weekend, when I was at a wellness conference, I actually met the medical examiner from Sandy Hook. And she is no longer a medical examiner. She is now an EFT practitioner. EFT is emotional freedom technique. That's actually something else I could put on here that speaks to that difference. So if there was not a correlation between emotions and pain, then tapping on different meridians on your body as you're letting yourself feel these emotions, or you're focusing on a physical sensation in the body, that wouldn't work if there wasn't a connection. There's also the NLP pain paradigm. So for those of you, and this is not something that I actually know firsthand, but for those of you who attended my summit, Dr. Kim Brown was talking about this NLP pain paradigm and how she had spent years upon years in school trying to help people feel better. And then she takes this NLP class at a master level after she's been doing this for a while. And in 20 minutes, they were able to lower someone's pain. 20 minutes. And she had spent 5 years doing this before. And the crux of this protocol, and you do have to have a very skilled NLP master. I don't know if anyone here is an NLP master or not, but there is a very high level of training to get up to that master level. And it is amazing. What Tony Robbins is an NLP master. And basically what they do is they keep in the feelings. And I actually met someone who works with law enforcement who practices something similar for burnout. And what they do is like, what are you feeling now? And they keep them in the feeling. And then the next emotion comes up, and then the next emotion comes up, and then the next emotion comes up. And the next thing you know, the pain has gone away. I do not know firsthand how long that lasts. I would imagine it's probably like anything else, where that may be one of the layers that you get rid of. But in my experience, every emotion has layers. Every emotion is like its own onion. So we're going to be able to get that first layer off, peel back that emotion, feel some release, get it out of the body. There may be more of that in there. For example, grief. This is never one that is going to be felt quickly. And so when I recently did another ayahuasca ceremony, a lot of what I was getting out was decades of grief that I thought I had actually fully felt. I was really shocked by the amount that was still in my body. And there were a lot of events that my mind was going through as I was releasing these emotions and letting myself feel what hasn't been felt before. And my body has felt so much better since. Even going into ceremony, pain was next to non-existent. It was a little spiked because of the summit, but it really wasn't that bad. And I came out of ceremony, and that's been almost 3 weeks ago now. I got cat hairs in my nose. Excuse me. Oh, I love George, but wow, he's fluffy. Oh, he's loving the blankie. Coming out of ceremony, my body has felt really, really good. I've been sleeping better, even though I still got some wake ups going on. But there has been, I think there was one day when I was interviewing Tracy Hill, AKA Samaya Hill, on my podcast, and the left side of my body was kind of bothering me. And then I was telling her what I had been telling myself about this mantra is, I am not going to participate in this. I am not going to participate in this. And boop, my back just completely released right there, and it hasn't bothered me since. So here's another potential. And if you guys want to see any correlations, feel free to put into the chat some different conditions or pain in areas of your body, and we can see if it resonates for you. So let me see. I just found this a moment ago. Let me find it. Okay. So left side of the body, this is kind of what I was giggling about. So left side of the body, my left side locks up when I'm not taking care of myself. And so the left side of the body represents receptivity, taking in, feminine energy, women, the mother. So in other words, my left side locks up when I'm fully in my masculine, go, 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 got to do it, type A personality, which is what I tend to. And so the left side of my body gets pissed off when I don't do that. So I'm totally laughing because I'm like, yeah, that resonates. Knee problems. So I have had my right knee already replaced. My left knee can bother me sometimes, and this kind of made me chuckle too. So knee problems, stubborn ego and pride, inability to bend, fear, inflexibility, won't give in. I hate to admit it, but that resonates. And it's usually, I've usually got some sort of stubbornness going on when my left knee bothers me, and it's something I don't want to let go of. Totally, totally me. And me in general, it says represents pride and ego. Okay, migraines. All right, let's see what it has there. Ooh, Lisa, I am about to have a headache specialist on my podcast. I think we're doing interviews on July 10th. I'll make sure you get that episode so that you can get something out of it. It doesn't have oh, here we go. Migraine headaches. Dislike of being driven, resisting the flow of life. Sexual fears can usually be relieved by masturbation. Okay, that's a little personal. Don't feel like you have to share there. But dislike of being driven, resisting the flow of life. I've never actually heard that solution for migraines. I clearly had not read this book before. Resisting the flow of life. Do those resonate with anyone who has migraines without going into the extra personal layer there? All right. Anyone else have something we want to look at? The other thing in here, the thing that blew me away. So it has a whole layout of the spine. Right. So I started to look in here to see what was going on. So I fractured my T10. That had to do with my kidneys, which actually I think they're okay. But right below that, you've got T9, which is adrenal. And I had adrenal fatigue for years, came out in the form of allergies and hives. So T10, you fracture, you put more force on the T9. And then let's see. This one actually has the emotional breakdown in here too. So let me go back into this. This is actually a little bit better. Okay, T10, refusal to take charge, needing to be a victim, it's your fault. That was absolutely going on when I fractured my T10, 100%. Totally, completely, that was what was happening. Lisa, that's funny. Fatigue, okay, thyroid. Ooh, you guys are great. All right, let's see. Let me see what we have for fatigue. Fatigue. Sometimes they don't have a direct thing in here. Oh, they do. Okay. Fatigue, resistance, boredom, lack of love for what one does. I don't know if that resonates. Thyroid. Let's look at thyroid. Thyroid problems run in my family. Actually, I have been able to avoid those, but I knew people have some of them. Thyroid is humiliation. I never get to do what I want to do. When is it going to be my turn? That's what it says for thyroid. Hernia. And you got some good ones coming. Hernia, ruptured relationships, strain, burdens, incorrect creative expression. Are these resonating with you guys so far? Neck and shoulder pain. Okay. Let's see. Neck. Let's look at neck first. Neck problems. So neck in general represents flexibility, the ability to see what's back there. Neck problems, refusing to see other sides of a question, stubbornness, inflexibility. So that is what neck is. All right. I'm glad that is resonating with you guys. Let's see. And then shoulders. Again, I don't know if that resonates with you. Let's see. But you guys are starting to see this, right? The connection between physical and emotional pain. Shoulders, shoulders, I think are usually a burden. Okay. Shoulders represent our ability to carry our experiences in life joyously. We make life a burden by our attitude. So that is what it is saying for that. Lower back pain. Oof. This one is one I'm familiar with, but I am going to go back into this. So this is going to be back pain lower. And then if you have specific discs, Lorraine, that you want me to look into, I will do that. Let me find, I think it says back lower if I remember correctly. Because I looked into this when I was like, wow, that was spot on for me. So when I had back pain. Okay, so yep, back represents the support of life. Lower back is fear of money, lack of financial support. So my first session with Bill McKenna, before I even had a ball for Cogno Movement, was all around financial scarcity because I was wanting to leave corporate and trying to figure out how to keep a roof above my head to do what I'm doing now full time. So I was terrified of losing the finances because I got paid really well in corporate. You're there for 24 years and you're doing pretty well. But that is what the lower back can be about, a lot, lack of financial support. Yeah, it's a great book. You can get on Amazon. I think it's only like $12 or something. I do recommend getting the paperback versus the Audible because the Audible just reads you a whole laundry list. Let's see, heartburn. And Lorraine, if you have any discs to check out, we can look at those too. Let's see, heartburn. Heartburn. Ooh, fear, 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 clutching fear. And then she does have affirmations that go with this. And so the recommendation from her is to, and honestly, the affirmations have not worked for me. I like to go in here, clear them out that way. Heartburn is exactly fear, 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 clutching fear. It also says C, peptic ulcer, stomach problems, ulcers. So that can all be, let's see what else it says in here. So peptic ulcer is fear, a belief that you are not good enough, anxious to please. Let's look up stomach problems and ulcers. Ulcers are fear, a strong belief that you are not good enough. What is eating away at you? I had an ulcer. It's gone, but I did. And I was also very riddled with anxiety at the time. Stomach problems, dread, fear of the new. I'm seeing a connection between gastroenterology, gastro problems, and fears. Anybody else seeing that here between the heartburn, the ulcers, the stomach problems? Stomach problems are fear of the new, inability to assimilate to the new. Okay, your MRI showed no disc problem, been told it's a mechanical issue. Hey, that's great news. That's really good news. Mechanical issue. I don't even know what that means. Yes, the book info, I will make sure I link it after this. Again, I believe you may already have a copy. If you don't, I have one I will bring you tomorrow because I meant to give you one. Constipation, let me see. Refusing to release old ideas, stuck in the past, sometimes stinginess. Kind of fun. I'm actually going to stop sharing so that I'm not this tiny little thing here and I can pull you guys back over here. Okay, this is much easier. All right. But yeah, Figen, double check if you have one or not. If not, like I said, I will bring it with me next time I see you. What else do you guys want me to look up? Andrea saying, or Andrea, I'm not sure how to say your name. Andrea or Andrea, whatever it is, use the book Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die by Carol Trueman. How have you found that book? Has that been really helpful? Because I've heard that there are other ones that go into much more depth than what Louise Hay is going into here. I love this one because it was inexpensive. It's a quick little reference. Everything is like listed like a laundry list. So I would love to hear about other books that have been really helpful to people so I can add them into my repertoire, because this doesn't cover everything. Not at all. But this, I think it's getting the point across, so like I said, my first session with Bill was a focus on financial fear and it released my back pain, and you guys can actually even try this right now. All right. So whatever is hurting on you, like whether it be a shoulder, neck, some part you can reach, since none of you are on camera, maybe a little easier. And just, Andrea, okay, cool, thank you. If you put your hand on that place that's hurting, and Magic Barclay was telling us about this too. Put your hand over that part that's hurting, like if it's the neck, if it's a knee, close your eyes, connect into your body, and ask what's there. And since we've already listed some out, ask your body, like, is this like with your back? Put your hands on your lower back. Is this fear? And your body will say yes or no. And it may not be quick to answer if you're just getting in the habit of talking to your body. It takes a while for it to trust you. Filling's book through Esther and Jerry Hicks. Awesome. Thank you. I am going to check that out. I appreciate the recommendation. The other one, so I'm glad that you guys don't have disc problems. I actually want to go back into that because it blew my mind when I looked at this. So my former back pain, my L1 through L5 plus my sacrum were a mess when my pain was at the highest. L1 is crying for love and a need to be lonely, insecurity. That was true. L2, stuck in childhood pain, see no way out. It was a childhood trauma that I hadn't yet acknowledged. That matches. L3, sexual abuse, guilt, and self-hatred. The trauma was a sexual abuse, so that fit. L4, rejection of sexuality, financial insecurity, fear of career, feeling powerless. All of the above. L5, insecurity. That one was, man, that was definitely one for me. Difficulty in communicating, anger. I was pissed off for 40 some odd years. You guys have heard me say that before. Inability to accept pleasure. The sacrum was loss of power, old stubborn anger. And every single one of those was 100% true with me. And then I also had C5, C6 used to bother me on my neck. C5 is fear of ridicule and humiliation, fear of expression, rejecting one's good, overburdened. Yeah, that was bothering me in my corporate career. I was definitely overburdened. C6, burdens again, overload, trying to fix others, resistance, inflexibility. Yeah, that fit too. So yeah, that is the connection between emotions and physical pain, or at least a quick look into it. There's obviously a lot more. But what's really beautiful about this is, you know, with cognitive movement, we're going to get more into this on Thursday and beyond. You don't have to acknowledge the emotion for it to come out. We can take it from a physical perspective. All you have to do is focus on the sensation in your body, which can sometimes make it easier to allow those feelings to come to the surface and be released. We can also take it from the feeling side. So even with fear, you know, a lot of times if I'm doing a session around fear, I'm actually feeling it in my solar plexus. But then later on, stomach isn't hurting and my back isn't hurting or whatever the specific fear was. So it winds up alleviating it from those body parts by working on the emotion, which is really, really cool. So any questions that anybody has about this link between emotions and physical pain? I want to open it up to you guys. Thank you for the interaction in here and giving me stuff to look up. I love this stuff. Obviously, I mean, this is what I do. I'm glad you guys are finding it interesting too. Lisa, your comments were laughing. I'm glad your husband liked the answer to one of them. Yeah, I'll clearly talk about anything. I agree, Elisa, it is all amazing. Stuffing my feelings with food connection. I don't know if that is actually in here, but that is something that we found with the weight loss track that we do with cognitive movement, is a lot of times when someone is feeling unfulfilled or they're feeling anxious, they will overeat in order to compensate for those feelings. So let me see, stuffing my feelings with food. So let me see if it mentions anything about eating in here. Eating. It doesn't say that. Yeah, it doesn't have anything specifically around that, but I have seen that before. I've definitely felt that before. I've gone to the refrigerator or the cabinet when I don't want to feel something. When I'm feeling a lack of fulfillment, which has been a really long time since I felt, I would eat. Definitely ate instead of feeling anxious. When our bellies are over full, we actually don't feel very anxious anymore. So anxiety can be a big trigger to overeat as well. So I don't know if that helps or not, if those are some of the things that you experienced, Andrea, but those can all be connected. And yeah, Lisa, I agree. This is all amazing. When at first I was in such resistance to the connection between emotional and physical pain. I was like, that can't possibly be real, because you never hear about that in traditional medicine, right? Your doctor doesn't sit there, you know, if your back hurts, like, oh, do you have any financial fears right now? Like, my doctor's literally never asked me that. Anybody else ever had their doctor ask if they have any financial scarcity feels that they present with lower back pain? or if they have any fear with heartburn, or do they just tell you to take Prilosec or Tums? Tell you to Band-Aid it instead of looking at what may be under there that can actually fix it on a much deeper level. And so I was so resistant to this when I was first introduced to it, but it's served me really well to start to connect it. You know, there was, you always think about the onion, the layers keep us bringing back to them saying how your carotid artery is peeling back like an onion. Let's look up what the arteries are. The disease model. Yes, exactly. The disease model. That is what we do in traditional medicine. And now there is some value with traditional medicine. It does absolutely fulfill a need in there, but it is for profit and it does focus on what's wrong with you, and what you look for, you will find. So if you keep looking for sickness and disease, guess what you're going to find? Sickness and disease. If you start looking for wellness, guess what you can find? Potentially things in the way of wellness, but then you can start to move into it. Let me see if it has anything about the artery in here. A lot of times, carotid artery, that's going to be the one in the neck, right, Lisa? Arteries carry the joy of life. That's what it's saying. Let me see if there's something specifically for the carotid. Let's see, carotid, I'll spell it right. It doesn't have anything specifically for the carotid in here, but it does say arteries carry the joy of life. So one of the things you may say, and they've also found a big link between heart attacks, heart disease, and heartbreak. So that kind of goes with a lack of joy in there. So if you're willing, that may be something to help you to start to alleviate whatever's going on with the carotid for you, because it sounds like that would probably be pretty scary to be continuing to be told that. But see where you can start to seek out joy, and maybe see if there may be some grief or some heartache from your past that you haven't fully been able to heal yet. And that may start to help heal what's going on in that carotid. And I'm sending you my best. I'm sending you lots of love that starts to heal, Lisa. All right. Any other questions? You're welcome. You guys are awesome. Thank you again for joining me. Tomorrow night, we're going to talk about the power of letting go. Also something like I had resistance every step of the way, just so you guys know, until I didn't. And then now I really don't have much resistance at all. Okay, Andrea, my artery says fears, disappointment, hard-hearted, feeling obstructed, unresolved feelings, obscuring the flow of life. Ooh, Lisa, if you see what Andrea says, that's what her book says, and she's got that book title in there. So I don't know if that helps you as well, if any of that resonates. And then Pam, my osteopath was telling me today that he saw a study about the power of thought. Scientists now have a machine that can project what you were thinking. So they have people think about something, then the computer will print it out. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. I don't know if I want a computer reading my thoughts though, but the idea of it is really cool. But I would really want to watch what I was thinking when I was around that. I don't know about you, but I want my thoughts a little monitored if it's going to be printed out in black and white where other people can see it. Anyone else with me on that? Quantum physics. Yes. I love quantum physics. I can geek out on that all day long. So cool. So cool. Awesome. All right. Does anybody have any other questions or things you want me to look up? If not, we'll make it a wrap for tonight. And thank you guys again for joining me. I'll be back again tomorrow night. I'll be back in the morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. And both Marilyn and Figen had some great topics. So I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but I'm going to go back in, and I like to meditate on the morning and get some guidance as far as what's going to be the most useful for you guys. So I'm going to do that tomorrow morning before I hop on. And then I will also be back again tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Eastern to do day 3 of the Road to Unstoppable and the power of letting go. Letting go of your story, letting go of the limits that the doctors have given you, letting go of emotions that don't serve you, letting go of things that you use to distract and numb. That's like a whole onion of letting go right there. You're going to hear me talk about the onion a lot. All right. Thank you, Figen. So glad you could join. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I'm so glad you're enjoying this. Thank you so much, Lisa. Oh, goodness, Lorraine. Yes, nearly midnight. Sleep well. Catch you tomorrow too. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to wrap it up for this evening. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'll make sure this is pinned again and then put it on my YouTube channel as well. So you have a couple places you can watch it. Take care, guys, and I will see you tomorrow.